Most people go their entire lives never knowing, not because they're faithless, not because they've done something wrong, but because they've been looking for something spectacular when what they should have been looking for was something quiet. We've been taught that divine encounters come with earthquakes and parted seas. And yes, sometimes they do, but most of the time, they don't announce themselves. They slip into an ordinary Wednesday afternoon. They happen in a hallway, in a hospital waiting room, in the silence of a house that's supposed to be empty. The question isn't whether angels are present in your home. Scripture makes it abundantly clear that they are active, they are assigned, and they are close. The real question is this: would you even recognize it if it happened? Today, we're talking about 5 signs, quiet, easy to miss signs that something beyond the natural may be present in your space right now. Point number 1. Something in your house keeps drawing your attention to the same spot. Not a noise, not a shadow, just an unexplainable pull. You walk past a corner, a window, a doorway, and for a split second, something in you becomes aware. You pause without knowing why. You look, and there's nothing there, and you move on. But here's what's interesting. In Exodus 3, when Moses saw the burning bush, the text records something we rarely slow down to notice. It says Moses turned aside to see it. He could have kept walking. Most people would have, but something made him stop. And the stopping changed everything. The Bible describes angelic presence as sometimes preceding a moment of divine instruction. You're not looking for a manifestation. You're looking for the pull, the inexplicable attention, the sense that something is here. Don't walk past it next time. Pause, pray. You might be standing at the edge of something important. Point number 2. Your home has felt unusually heavy lately, and then, without warning, it lifted. You know what I mean? There are seasons where a house carries a weight that has nothing to do with the temperature. Arguments have happened there. Grief has settled in. Something unseen presses on you the moment you cross the threshold. And then one day, sometimes gradually, sometimes all at once, it lifts. You breathe differently. You think more clearly. The rooms feel larger. You can't point to what changed. He tells Daniel that he had been sent the moment Daniel first began to pray. But he was engaged in a battle in the unseen realm for 21 days before breaking through. What that means is profound. Angelic activity on your behalf may have been happening long before you felt any change. What you experience as sudden relief may actually be the arrival of something that has been fighting its way to you for weeks. If the atmosphere of your home has shifted, if the heaviness has broken, don't just chalk it up to a good night's sleep. Something may have been cleared out on your behalf. Point number 3. You've been having an unusual urge to pray at a specific time, and you don't know why. Not the prayer you schedule, not your morning devotion or your before dinner habit. This is something else, a quiet, unprompted pull at an odd hour, 2 in the afternoon, midnight, just after sunrise. An internal nudge that has no logical source. Acts 10 tells us about a Roman soldier named Cornelius. The angel didn't come while he was reading scripture or attending a service. He came while Cornelius was at prayer during a time that wasn't even prescribed, the 9th hour, 3 in the afternoon. The angel told him, "Your prayers have been heard. They have come up as a memorial before God." What that tells us is that angelic presence and the impulse to pray are sometimes the same event. The prompting to pray may not originate with you. It may originate with the one who is sent to you. If something has been nudging you to your knees at odd hours, don't overthink it. That prompting may be divine in origin, and the prayer that follows it may be the most important prayer you pray this week. Point number 4. A child in your home has said something they couldn't possibly know. This is the one parents and grandparents nod at in silence, because it has happened to more of them than they ever talk about. A child looks at an empty chair and asks who the person is sitting in it. A toddler laughs at nothing in a quiet room. A young child describes a figure they saw in the hallway, someone warm, someone bright, someone who told them not to be scared. And they say it with the calm certainty of someone describing something completely ordinary. Jesus said in Matthew 18 that the angels of children always behold the face of the Father. This wasn't poetry. It was a theological statement about divine proximity. The angels assigned to children exist in a state of continuous access to the throne. Children haven't yet been trained to dismiss what they see. They haven't learned to explain everything away. They see what they see, and they say what they saw. If a child in your life has described something, or someone that stopped you cold, don't be too quick to call it imagination. Their eyes may be more open than ours. Point number 5. You've had a moment of sudden, overwhelming clarity right before you made a decision that changed your life. Not excitement, clarity. You were standing at a crossroads, a job offer, a relationship, a move, a choice, and the fog that had been clouding everything just broke open. You suddenly knew. Not because you'd figured it out. Not because someone talked you into it. The knowing arrived fully formed, from a direction you couldn't identify. Hebrews 1:14 describes angels as ministering spirits sent forth to minister to those who will inherit salvation. The word minister there is not passive. It is active service. It is purposeful assistance. Angels are not floating observers. They are dispatched workers. In 1 Kings 19, Elijah was broken, depleted, asking to die under a tree in the wilderness. The angel didn't come with a sermon. He came with bread. He came with water. He came with the exact provision Elijah needed to take the next step. Sometimes angelic ministry doesn't look like vision. Sometimes it looks like the exact amount of clarity you needed to take a step you were terrified to take. If there has ever been a moment in your life where you knew something without knowing how you knew it, and that knowing led you somewhere good, you may be looking back at an angel's fingerprints, is what ties all of this together. Angels are not mythology. They are not decorative. They are not exclusive to the prophets and patriarchs of a distant past. Hebrews 13:2 tells us that some people have hosted angels without realizing it. That word, unaware, means even those who weren't looking. They don't require your awareness to be present. They don't require your recognition to do their work. But when you begin to pay attention, when you stop explaining away the unexplainable, something shifts in you. You begin to move through your days with the quiet awareness that you are not alone in the rooms you inhabit, that what surrounds you goes far beyond what you can see. The next time something in your home tugs at your attention for no reason, stop and pray. The next time the atmosphere around you suddenly shifts from heavy to light, life says something that makes the hair stand up on your arms. Write it down. You are not moving through this life unattended. Heaven has been paying closer attention to your address than you know. If this message spoke to something you've been carrying, share it with someone. Like it and kindly subscribe today. And if you want more content that opens your eyes to the unseen and anchors your faith in what is real, subscribe to Gospel Grotto channel. God has not gone silent, and you were never meant to walk this road alone.